Hi guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about AZ900 Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. AZ900 is the exam that tests on fundamental level knowledge of cloud concept and Azure services. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Azure will be absolutely clear to you. This series divided into multiple parts, therefore subscribe to the channel and follow the playlist.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOps School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the understanding of cloud concept. First one is what key concept and terms, economics of scale, difference between cap expense, that is capital expense, and operational expense. Okay. Difference between infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay. And also we are going to discuss about the difference between public, private, and hybrid cloud. Okay. So you guys have some of the like Ghosh or maybe that Sivendra have told me that day, right? You have some idea about the key concept and basics of cloud, right? Key concept and terms. So do you know what are the terminology we are using in cloud, especially in Azure? Any idea? Okay, no
Technologies.
issues. So only today we are
Yeah, I
like,
have
what
heard
are
some
the key
terms.
concepts in Azure?
Okay, concept-wise. Concept-wise, I think overall concept pretty much similar with any cloud vendor, right? Kind of the computing sections, networking, storage, database, even for the kind of networking will cover all the things that the firewalls and those kind of whatever
Correct.
concept present in the on premises, right? Along with that, the analytics services are there. uh, even
Yes.
now the cloud vendors are giving the services as a as a service, the migration service. If you are just willing to migrate from from A to B or something, you are willing to migrate, then straight away you can use that services as well.
Great. Yeah. So these are the actually the concept and process you're talking. My question was basically the basics, key concept and terms. What are the terminology we are using in cloud? See, Azure have the different terminology, AWS have the different terminology, and Google have the different terminology, IBM have the different terminology. Each and every cloud provider are using different terminology. Okay. So if you are preparing for the exam for Azure, try to stick on Azure. Try to go through only Azure platform, Azure notes and all. Do not mix up with on. If you will go to Google and there are so many confusions are there, because whenever they are going to explain you the cloud terminology, they are going to mix all, Google also, Azure also, and AWS also. So that time you will get confused in the exam and you are not able to clear, frankly speaking. This is my personal experience to you guys. So now we are going to discuss about the key concept and terminology. So what are the basically, what do you mean by cloud? Someone is going to ask you, what is cloud? What will be your definition? Basically, cloud is what? It is a service which we are going to use on internet, correct? That is what cloud is a service. Okay, which we are going to use on the internet. If internet is not available, we are not going to able to access anything on cloud. Okay.
Correct.
So cloud is someone in the examination, they will also ask you cloud is a product or service, you should always say that it is a service. It is not a product. Okay.
Yep.
Cloud services has a specific characteristics and consideration. Okay, there are so many characteristics like high availability, scalability, elasticity, agility, fault of tolerance, disaster recovery, global reach, customer latency capabilities, predictive cost consideration, and security. So what do you mean by high availability? What does it mean?
So basically, whenever you are trying to access, it's the whatever you are trying to achieve, it's must be available, right? So suppose a customer uh, is trying to trying to reach to the bank portal, so it should be available all the time, 24/7, the maximum availability time for a particular service.
Yeah, what about you? Other one more
Yeah,
person is there, right?
yeah. High availability means whatever services we are accessing should always be available, and there's limited downtime or no downtime of the services.
Correct. Okay, whenever we are going to say the high availability, okay, please note down. This should be available, high availability, whenever we are going to say, it should be what, 24/7. First condition. Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
Yes, right. Yes,
I
right.
can hear you.
Yeah, 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 you guys. See, my way of giving the training is always, I used to be interactive. Okay, so that it will be easy
Yeah,
for
yeah.
us
Yeah, sometimes
to
Yes,
tell
actually
you guys that
I
sleep.
am in mute. Yeah, sometimes
Okay,
actually I'm
okay.
in mute because there are no, so many noises outside.
Okay, okay, no issues. So whenever we are
Yes.
going to discuss about the high availability, especially in cloud, terminology, so it means what? It will always, minimize what may be the some, required prerequisites for accessing any services. Those like some kind of infrastructure, some kind of services and all, that should be minimized, and it should be available 24/7. And whatever maybe you are using, that should be what? Optimize services. So that's the reason cloud is what? High availability. This is one of the fine great characteristics of cloud. One more thing, whenever we are going to say the high availability, it doesn't mean that 100%. Always it is what, 99.99%. Okay, nothing is 100% in this universe.
Correct.
Second one is, what do you mean by scalability?
whenever
Scalability means
you need to add more resources, you can add it on the fly.
not only add only, it should be the both way, scale up and scale down. That means
Yes.
you have the flexibility based on your requirement. You are modifying your resources.
Okay, that is correct. Exactly, we can up and down, we can increase the capacity of the, like we can take the example of VM or database and all. Okay, storage stuffs and all these things. Okay, so that is basically scalability is what? It is a kind of ability which will give you the power to easily increase or decrease either your size or any kind of capacity, configuration, etc. We can easily increase, okay, or decrease according to our requirement or user requirement. Getting my point or not? Scalability, please note down, because they will ask you in the exam, what do you mean by scalability? It is a process by which we can easily increase or decrease the size or power of a VM database, or we can also increase or decrease configuration according to the user requirement. What do you mean by elasticity? What do you mean by elasticity? elasticity? Have you heard the
Elasticity,
term,
yes. So it is
yeah,
more like
go ahead,
whenever
please.
load is increasing, automatically you can scale your infrastructure to accommodate
Configuration,
that.
yeah,
Yes.
correct. So whenever the word elasticity will come, automatically there must be one more terminology you have to remember, that is performance of any, I know, either we are going to talk about the performance of VM, database, storage, anything. Okay, so basically whenever we are going to define the elasticity, it is what degree or point at which system is able to adapt the workload changes by provisioning and deprovisioning resources in an automatic manner. Please write down. Like whenever we are going to
Actually,
elasticity means what? Suppose right now you have a requirement for 400 users. Okay, and so your configuration must be, suppose according to the requirement, your configuration must be 4 GB RAM or something. But after 2 months, okay, you are going to use only 400, instead of 400 you are going to use only 200. At that time you have to decrease your configuration 4 GB to 2 GB. Configuration you have to change, correct?
correct.
Sometimes what happen, right now your requirement is 400 and after 6 months 4000. Then, so due to that reason we are performing the performance testing on the infrastructure of your cloud. Okay, so that's the reason nowadays infrastructure testing is also booming in the cloud, cloud field. Okay, so this is a very big topic, elasticity, what kind of infrastructure testing we are going to perform, performance, volume, stress, configuration, capability, integration. There are so many types of testings are available in elasticity. But as a you need to understand what is elasticity. Elasticity means what? It is what degree to which a system is able to adopt the workload changes, either by increasing or other by decreasing. Understood? What do you mean by agility? This is a very easy term. Change is always welcome, right? Changes are always welcome. That is what agility.
Yeah.
Like
Sense of
today you
flexibility.
have your yeah, flexibility. And basically in agility what happened, basically if today your client is asking, okay, I need only 40 servers day before yesterday, or maybe after 2 months, or maybe after 2 days, they will ask, I require more than 200 more, more than 200 or more than 2000. So in provisioning a VM in a cloud, it is only hardly couple of minutes job, right? Maximum only within 2 to 3 minutes we can provision, right? Any VM?
Yes.
Have you created any VM on any of the cloud, either
Yes, I have
AWS,
created.
Azure, or Google? Okay,
Yes,
so
created.
hardly what is couple of minutes, right? 4 to 5 minutes, everything will be settled down. But
Correct.
practically, if we are going to purchase any hardware or any laptop and all, then we are going to install OS and all. It will take minimum 1 or 2 days. Everything in any organizations. After that, fault tolerance. What do you mean by fault?
Whenever anything goes wrong, so you should have a blueprint, or the your system should be adapted so quickly that you are not having that much of impact after doing something wrong or doing bad something.
There is a word backup.
Yep.
Have you heard about? Right.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yep.
whenever fault tolerance, any kind of fault will occur in your server and all, there is a back in cloud. Always there is a backup systems are available. Okay, so if there is some fault in some particular region, like in East US, something is server is not working, automatically that particular operation will shift to the other region. Okay, that kind of capacity we have in cloud. Disaster recovery, exactly anything will happen in India. Like you can give the example of last year, maybe in 2016, that is what there was a, or 16, there was a massive flood in Chennai, right? So due to that region, almost all the offices like Cognizant, Infosys, TCS, everyone, they have shut down their offices, right?
Yeah,
But they
it's the
are
end.
able to operate. Yes, yes.
Correct. It's the end of 2015. It started from
Yeah, yeah.
December. Actually, I was there in Chennai that time.
Okay, great. So you have the that kind of experience, disaster recovery, right?
Yes.
So they have shifted all the employees somewhere, in Noida, Delhi, Bangalore, and all, right? Like that, and they are able to work, or Hyderabad, or maximum company. Cognizant also, TCS also did something, and Accenture also did something. Okay. So same in cloud. If anything will happen in some particular region, their backup is already stored in some other region. Okay, automatically that particular region which have the backup and all, they automatically start functioning if anything will happen in the current region. So that is what disaster recovery is a very good excellent features of the cloud. Global reach, what does it mean? It means if right now I'm sitting in Hyderabad, and if you are sitting in Calcutta, right, or Kolkata, nowadays we have to say Kolkata, okay, and someone is sitting like Shivendra is sitting in Bangalore, right? Shivendra,
Yes.
hello. Yeah. So global reach means either you are sitting anywhere entire the world, either in US, India, or China, Japan, what it may be, you are able to access your all the resources into the cloud. Okay. And it is whenever the whatever the place where internet is available, you can access your services in the cloud. Okay, that is what global reach. And nowadays almost 80% of the area is already covered by internet, entire world, 80 or 90 we can say. What even a customer latency capability, what does it mean? Goes or
Yeah.
Shivendra?
Yeah, latency comes like, suppose you are staying in India and you are trying to access something, which is the main server is based on the US region. Okay, so if you are not
Hmm.
have that much of flexibility or the features, then you are not getting a real time that services. So some lagging will be always there,
Yes,
right?
there's something what delay, the
Delay.
response time will be little bit delay, that is customer latency capability. So what happens, suppose you have your server, if you are using any services from the Azure. So suppose right now you are accessing from India and someone is accessing in US, and both the server have East US, something like that. Okay. So if you are accessing any server which that server is available in the East US region, and then there's must be, if you're accessing from India, then there must be some delay in the response time. But someone sitting in the US, and if they are just accessing the server, same server, sitting same server, then latency will be what, less, right? Why? Because the distance is distance is also, and the region wise they have the capacity. So that's the region. In India also there is South India region they made. If you will go to the drop down of the Azure portal or AWS portal or Google portal, they have made what, South India region. They have Azure have also server in South India region, Mumbai region. Okay, understood or not? What do you mean customer latency capability? So due to
Yes.
that region and due to that particular features, they are going to minimize the latency of the customer getting the response. Okay. After that, predictive cost consideration. What does it mean? Predictive cost consideration.
If you're just using any services, then what would be your cost? Suppose you are going to use some services for 1 year, then the cloud vendor has that capability that that produce the cost. the future cost actually. So that will what would be the advantage of that? So you are that will actually you are getting some advantage. So if you are choosing some resources or planning to choose use some resources, then you can do your cost analysis.
Exactly. Basically, this is talking about the cost analysis. Okay, predictive cost consideration means what? Everything we can predict what will be the cost in cloud. Whatever maybe we are going to do the operations. Okay, whatever each and everything we can predict, but practically and within few seconds they will send you. Within few seconds, if you have already agreement, maximum it will take 2-3 minutes. You can if you have a very big 4,000 server and all, then it will take time. Okay, but suppose if you are using 1 or 2 VM or 3 VM, whatever, you can easily, you can within few minutes you are able to understand how much cost it will, how much they will charge you for that. And
Even
security.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, even I just
you are saying
probably
something.
yeah, probably you people are aware of that. Even in draw.io, if you're just designing any diagram for suppose AWS, I currently in draw.io that features has even in the cloudcraft as well. So they will give you the cost of capacity, what would be the cost of your using resources in cloudcraft if you're just trying to produce a design using the AWS
In
resources,
Azure
then they
portal
will,
also,
yeah.
yeah, in Azure portal also there is a billing and capacity. Okay, there you can
Mhm.
see what maybe they have already the detailed pricing system. Okay,
Correct.
so that will help you. And that there are so many sites are also available, and also there are so many tools are also available, like Aptio, Texture, Cloudscape. These are what tools. With the help of these tools, we are able to, suppose we want to migrate something from this place to that place, we are able to understand how much cost it will be with those
Mhm.
tools. If it is a bigger data, like Cognizant, Infosys, Wipro, if they want to migrate like that, Unilever. Now we are going to discuss about the security. Okay, so please let me know, what do you think that okay, in a cloud everything is secure or not? Tell me. Now this time I want answer from Sivendra.
So it is,
Sivendra.
there are certain secure measures, and there is, when we talk about security, we also talk about the physical security, and access level are managed. So all these things are there in cloud, and
Okay.
it is all there. There is a level of customization that is possible, which depends on your requirement. What all ports or whatever, what all services you want to enable on your system, you can control that. So
No, my
there,
question was, I'm not asking about all the security features. My question was only, is everything is secure in the cloud? Yes or no?
I can't say actually, because there are loopholes in every system. So we cannot say that no, it is 100% proof. But yes, there are measures, and the best security policies are followed. So at a certain level, we can assume that it is secure, but there is no guarantee.
Yeah, in cloud we cannot say everything is secure. Okay, if we are going to adopt the security features of the Azure, okay, then we can say okay, our system, our entire portal, or our console is 99.99% is secure. Without adopting, like suppose you guys are using iPhone also, right? Or any phone, smartphone, whatever may be, where you are storing all your data? Cloud only, right? All the features, pictures and all, selfie, all, right?
Correct.
So whether that is
Yeah.
secure, that is secure, that is not
No,
secure,
no,
because we
no.
are storing our data into the public cloud, and public cloud is not a secure place in cloud. Okay, only one level of security is there, that's all. If someone is a ethical hacker and all, they can always hack that particular what may be, your cloud and all, which like iPhone, if you are using iPhone, they are going to store their data in iCloud. If you are using any other Chinese handset and all, those are, frankly speaking, do not use any Chinese handset, because their security is totally ramp up. We are not going to believe anything on that. Okay,
Yep.
so what maybe we are saving on our smartphone, we are saving everything on our public cloud. Okay, so any doubt in these all 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 points? Any doubts? They will ask you minimum 2 to 3 questions from this slide. Okay,
Okay, it is good for me so far.
okay. Now we are going to discuss about the economics of scale. Okay, so whenever we are going to discuss about the economics of scale, well, we are going to talk about the three terminology, that is speed, economics, and scale. Okay, so economics of scale, the concept of economics of scale is the ability to do things less expensive and more efficiently when operating at a more significant level in comparison to performing at a smaller scale. Like economics of scale is what, always each and every organization or each and every person always think that I want to invest less and I want more output. Input should be less, output should be more. Correct me if I'm wrong, everyone. Correct?
Correct, correct,
In
correct.
human,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
in in human nature also, we all are working, we all are IT professional, but we want one, I want to work only 8 hours out, or max to max 8 hours, but I want get more salary as compared to right now, whatever maybe we are having. Okay, so these are the nature of the human, these are the nature of the organization. Always they want to become a profitable organization, and so input and output depends upon what, there is a supply chain management. Have you heard about the word? What does it mean?
Yes. So it
You,
means passing on a service or a good from the producer to the end user. So there are multiple parties involved in it, and that forms a
yeah,
supply chain.
exactly, multiple parties. Okay, so there is a rule, if supply is more, then
Cost will be
profit
less.
will be less.
Yeah,
If the
profitable
supply will less, the profit will be more.
more.
Correct?
Yes.
Correct.
So supply will less means what, we are going to input less, then we are getting output more in terms of profit, I'm telling. Okay, if we are inputting more, then this is what the concept, same concept. Cloud is also every organization, economics, everything is business, depends upon the business only. Everything is business. So like we have so many cloud provider like Microsoft, Google, AWS are extensive business, and thus can leverage the benefits of economics of scale and then pass those benefits on their customer. Let me give you the simple example. You want to install any Oracle application, okay, that requires 8 GB RAM, suppose. And again, one more application you want to install, that is Microsoft Dynamics CRM, something kind of thing. Okay, applications that also requires more than 2 GB or 4 GB RAM. Let it be. Actually it requires 2.5 GB RAM. Let it be 4 GB RAM. So total how much RAM? 12. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell me, Shivendra or Ghosh, both of them, what will be your approach as a cloud engineer? If you are going to purchase 16 GB RAM, it will cost you more than 1 lakh rupees in the market. Correct?
Correct.
16 GB RAM. Instead of that, if you can purchase 4 GB RAM of laptop, minimum that cost will be 25,000 max to max.
Thanks for watching. To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.